Hey, folks. Okay, right, music is on. Things are pinging around all over the place. I believe everything is sorted. Someone do say if it is not. Oh, I need to turn my light on. No. There we go. It was set to white, which does not look good backlighting me at all. It's just very glary, so I have to change it to one of the off colors, which is a lot dimmer. Oh, need to brush my hair. Oh. Right. So, I haven't streamed since last Monday. I was not feeling particularly up to it on Friday, and well, I had a very unpleasant weekend, so I didn't have an opportunity to stream yesterday, and I didn't really have much desire to either. But I'm back today, and everything should be back to normal from here, I should think, give or take. Let me just we got up midway through G last time. Right. Okay. Sorry about this. People are messaging me. Okay. Right. Oh, what am I doing? I need to go grab bits and pieces. I need to go open up some web pages. I was woefully underprepared, as per usual, mind you. That is standard fare. Right. The next spell on my list is Glittering Rainfall, which I believe is a third, I want to say. I need to open up a bunch of web pages. Give me a second. Don't mind me. Okay. I'm fairly certain it's a third. It is, yes. Now, I am unsure as to the content and quality of the content of Glittering Rainfall. But we shall have to see. So there's a third level. Oh, I forgot to cut out all of this shenanigans. Oh, I need to shift back a bit. Face is too close to the camera. Glittering Rainfall is a third level conjuration, casting time 1 action, range of self. Components, somatic material, a vial filled with savannah rain, a white feather, and stardust. Concentration up to a minute for druids and rangers. You conjure a cloud of magical rainfall at a point 10 feet above your head, which brings down just above you, I think is all that's necessary there. Bring down a gentle, soothing rainfall. The cloud is 10 feet in diameter and brings down rain in a 10-foot wide, 10-foot tall cylinder. Any creature that you choose that is in the rainfall when it appears regains 2d6 hit points. Additionally, for the duration, whenever a creature you choose starts its turn in the rainfall, it gains 2d6 temporary hit points. Yeah, this is actually is a very clean spell. I expected this to be jank as hell, because since it's been written, nobody in my home game has taken it, and I assume that's because it was super jank. But this is actually this is a very reasonable spell. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with Glittering Rainfall. I think it's cool. Right. Next on my list is Gomez's Evo Convergence. I remember this one being very jank. Okay, right. This doesn't look too jank, but I haven't really read much of it yet, so that may well change quite quickly. Just shuffling things about. Give me a moment. Oh, I just opened PowerPoint instead of opened the tab with Word in it. Oh, and I pressed the wrong button again. There we go. Right. Gomez's Evo Convergence. A star talisman made from sapphire, emerald, ruby, and topaz worth at least 500 gold pieces, duration for 1 minute. You align the energies of the elements, fusing them with your own form. For the duration, whenever you would take acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder damage, you can use your reaction to unleash a raging bolt of elemental energy out towards your attacker. The target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, taking 48 damage of the trigger type on a failed save and half as much on a success. Additionally, whenever you cast a spell that deals acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder damage, you can use your reaction to do one of the following. You gain one of the following benefits. One target of the spell suffers you can do it on a single spell attack roll associated with the spell. I don't know, this is kind of fine. I'm not sure about, like, the fact that this just isn't concentration. Like, you just turn this on and it just is for a minute. But its effect isn't all that ludicrous. Yeah. I think this is... Sorry, I'm struggling to think at the moment. I will come back to this. I'm going to come back to this specifically. I'm going to red text this. This will be something I come back and look at in my own time. The next one is Gomez's Simum, which is a spell I know I want to change, and I know how I want to change it. It is also a 3rd level spell, I think. No, it's a 4th level spell. Huh. Weird. I could have sworn it was a 3rd, but it is not. One action. A little bag of sand tied with silver string worth at least 20 gold pieces. Concentration up to a minute. Oh, I forgot to cut all of this. You shoot forth a swirling storm of sand and a 15-foot cone in front of you. Each creature in the cone in the area must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. Okay, right, must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failure, the target suffers... Was it bludgeoning damage? Actually, I don't actually remember. Oh, slashing, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah, it's fucking sand whipping past you. Obviously, it's slashing. Oh, it shouldn't say the target. It should be, a creature... A creature suffers half damage and is not knocked prone. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Okay, as an action on each of your subsequent turns, you can conjure another Simum. This spell does not do nearly enough damage to be an action to reuse. I think, as a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns, you can conjure another Simum. For the duration. On each subsequent turn for the duration, you can use a bonus action to conjure another Simum. Yeah, no, that does work. That does work. And now this spell has gone from borderline unusable to actually being really good. It's like actively very good. Okay. Next on my list, I'm working so slowly, I'm so sorry. Next on my list are Gravity Bolt and Gravity Pulse. Okay, right. Let me take a look at Gravity Bolt. Gravity Bolt is a 2nd level spell, and to my memory, is fine. I don't know if that is the case, but I'm fairly certain. Gravity Bolt is very similar to Ice Knife. It is you throw a bolt at a dude, and it does an AoE thing around that dude. It is a level 2 version of Ice Knife, is basically what it is. Which is neat, you know. It's the gravity spells are very popular in my home games. There is another one that I have sitting in the winger, which is even more popular than Gravity Bolt and Gravity Pulse, is Gravity Crush, and players are a fan of that one. They are big fans of Gravity Crush. I can think of 3 characters off the top of my head that have been played in the last year that all had Gravity Crush, because people like it. It's pretty cool and also quite good. So, you know, generally a good combination there. Right, Gravity Bolt. Oh shit. You warp the very air around you, forming a small, localized gravity well, launching it forward. Make a ranged spell attack against a creature within range. On a hit, the target takes 2d10 force damage. The well then pulses, revealing a gravitational shockwave in a 10-foot radius surrounding the target. No. Each creature within range, including the target, must then succeed on a strength saving throw. Or take 1d8 force damage, taking half as much on a success. Regardless of whether the creature succeeded or failed, any creature caught in the field is pulled into the nearest unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target. Creatures of huge size, it needs to be capital H there, are not pulled and automatically succeed. No. If it is large or smaller... Oh, wait, no. Regardless of whether a creature succeeded or failed. Of large size or smaller, caught in the field, is pulled into the nearest unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target. This spell's actually very underpowered. It's actively very underpowered. This does not do a whole hell of a lot. Oh, greetings. Welcome in, Ruben. Yeah, I'm not feeling the damage on this spell. Let me look up the numbers real quick. Right, I know it's indexed somewhere. Spell damage, here we go. Second level spell should do like 4d6 damage. This does basically nothing to like every creature in the area, which is kind of whack as far as I'm concerned. So we're looking at 11 damage to the initial target, right? And then within the area, I think we can bump this to 2d8, and then we change the scaling here. The damage dealt by the pulse increases by 1d8 for each spell slot level expended above second. I think that works a lot better. Is the AoE damage increases the damage to initial target, and it does 2d8, which I think it does 2d10 to one person, and then to everyone else, or to that person again, and every creature around them, it does about, what's that, like 9 damage? So I think that works. I think that actually works quite well. You're looking at an average of about 20 damage, and 4d6 marks up to 14. But I think this is okay. I think this is a very, this is a much needed buff here. This spell was not very powerful at all before. And I can see why not many people took Gravity Bolt over the Gravity Pulse, which when it was first introduced became a staple almost immediately. It's not been used a huge amount since, but yeah, this spell is one of the first spells I think I ever made. Oh, that's something. Hang on, actually. Right. Right. Gravity Pulse, I know for a fact, is worded horrendously. Conjure the energies of the stars through your arcane foot. No. Stars to create. To temporarily create a small, dense celestial body at a point in space within range. At a point you can see within range. This spherical. It's not how you. Oh no! Yeah, this is like one of the first things I did. A spherical gravitational field in a 20-foot radius appears before releasing a 20-foot radius sphere of gravitational energy around it. Each creature within the field must make a strength saving throw. Right, this wording is horrible. Must make a strength saving throw, suffering 10d6. Was it 10d6? 10, yes, 10d6 force damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success. Regardless, each creature in the area. I think, yeah, this here. Each creature in the area is pulled into the nearest unoccupied space within. Oh, that says with, not within. Within 5 feet of the celestial body. That releases a 20-foot radius sphere of gravitational energy around it. Each creature within the field... both the damage dealt. This is a hard reword here. The damage dealt by the spell and the spell's overall radius. A point that you can see within range. There we go. Okay, that makes life a lot easier there. I think this has fixed the spell. You conjure the energy of the star to create a 20-foot radius sphere of gravitational energy around a point you can see within range. Each creature within the field must make a strength saving throw, suffering 10d6 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a success. Regardless, each creature in the area is pulled to the nearest unoccupied space within 5 feet of the spell's point of origin. And the damage on the spell's radius increases as you upcast, so that's fine. That's all good. Guardian Angel. Now, I don't remember Guardian Angel, what it is or what it does. I think it's 4th. It is not. I don't know what level it is. Like, I actively don't know. It's not a 6th. Is it a 3rd? No. Is it a 5th? No. Let's look it up. I should probably look it up instead of just hunt for it. It is a 3rd. Huh. Guess I missed it. Oh. Yeah, I just scrolled right past it. Right. Now, I have no idea what the content of this spell is, or what it does. 3rd level Abjuration, 1 action, touch, verbal semantic material, a prayer book, concentration up to an hour for clerics and paladins. You bring down heavenly energies to surround the target, to surround a creature you touch, to surround a willing. Taking the form of a tiny mote of dim light. For the duration, A tiny mote of light. For the duration, when the creature makes an ability check or saving throw, you can use your reaction to add 1d4 to its roll. Ooh, that's bad. Additionally, whenever the target is damaged by a creature that they can see within 30 feet of it, if the guardian... Whenever the target is damaged by a creature that can see within 30 feet of it, it can use its reaction to have the guardian angel spirit So this ability here is fine, giving your allies a way to sort of lash out. But this ability fucking sucks. For the duration... Gains a +2 bonus to its AC and to saving throws it makes. Yeah, this kind of becomes like these kind of non-bow together here, but it's there's still a lot of, like, if their AC is too high and they can't get hit, or if and then that's even better. But if it gives them a chance to succeed against Fireball and still use their reaction to lash out. So I think this probably makes the spell a lot better. I still don't think it's particularly fantastic, mind you, but it's not a shitty spell. I can say that with confidence. It's not a shit spell. Right. Guided Strike is the last G spell. And I believe Guided Strike is fine. Last I checked. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but I remember it being, like, fairly reasonable. The wording is strange. Okay, right. You, as a bonus action, self-verbal, 1 round for paladins and rangers. You channel your magic power. Your magic power, that's fucking awful. That's... what the fuck was I doing here? You focus on the battle ahead, narrowing your gaze and allowing both allowing both magic and muscle to guide your hand. Until the end of your next turn, all attacks you make against another. So, attack rolls you make. I need to look at the wording of champion, the champion ability. You score a critical hit on a roll of... Oh, hang on, I could just go up to the really high level one. Of an 18... When he casts a spell at a higher level... Oh god, yeah, there's some rookie stuff in here, there really is. When you cast the spell using a spell slot of 3rd level or higher. No, it's not a comma there, or higher. Decreases by 1 to a minimum of 13. Is that the so 18, 17, 16, 15. Okay, no. For each spell slot level expended above 2nd. I like that. That's much cleaner wording. It flows a lot nicer. It just kind of works. Basically, Guided Strike is kind of... like, if you use base flanking rules, Guided Strike is amazing on a Paladin, right? It's not quite as good on a Ranger. Rangers struggle to get advantage in quite the same way, but it is until the end of their next turn, so I suppose they could Zephyr Strike on their next turn, but that would only give them advantage on 1 attack, so they'd have to be like a melee Ranger, which is not really something that is generally done. I remember 4th edition had, there were the 2 archetypes of Ranger were I do 2-weapon fighting or I use a bow, and I still think that's really awesome. And I really wish that was a thing still, and it just kind of isn't. Joe, whilst I don't think he's here at the moment, is playing a strength-based melee ranger. Is what a stranger is. I realise me saying that doesn't mean anything without any context. He's playing a strength ranger, in my Magic game. He's a vampire Horizon Walker ranger. Like the Ixalan vampires, not like some bullshit homebrew where you actually get to play the stat block, because that would be dumb as hell. So that's all the G spells done. I'm gonna take a break here. I'm gonna go grab some food. When I come back, I'm gonna make a start on the H spells, and I'm gonna try and get through all of those, but that's probably all I'm gonna have time for today. So yeah, that will be the that will most likely, yeah, that's probably going to be the plan. I think it's feasible for me to get through all of the H spells. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 8, and thus far in about half an hour we have done 1, 2, 3, 4. We have done 7 spells in the better part of about half an hour ish, and there's 8 more, which we have an hour to do, which I think is very achievable. So I'm gonna head out and go do that. I'm gonna go grab some food. I'll be back in 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, I'll be back very shortly. See ya. No, can't find the fucking button. Okay, right. I'll be back in a minute. Hey folks, I'm back. Sorry about that. Caught up in some shenanigans. Oh. Very sorry about that. I think I was gone some 20 minutes. Just a pain in the ass, but nah, well. It's not the end of the world. Oh. Oh. Okay, right. I do return. No, not too bad. Been better, but not too bad. Oh. No. We worked on the G spells. And we're on to H now. That's where we are going. Oh, fuck. So, this next spell is a bit of a meme spell, and I want to change it. It is Hands of Manos, which is particularly amusing. Oh. Is it a 7th level spell? Yes, it is. So I'm going to completely rework the spell, because I do not like its effect. I'm going to change it entirely. Okay, right. Okay, right. So basically, you summon a bunch of hands, and they act like spiritual weapons here, but I don't like that. I think that's dumb. Use white hunting hands. You can, okay, right. This is based in lore from a setting that no one knows about, so I'm going to cut this out. You conjure forth horrid, scaly tendrils from the far, far realm. These hands burrow up from the ground with a horrid screaming sound appearing in an occupied space you can see within range. Each creature within... one or more of the hands Okay. Each creature within 10 feet of one or more hands strength must... No, I'm using succeed on. The habit is still there. Must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers... we could be looking at like an Evard's black tentacles kind of effect here. Just not quite the same because, you know, funnily enough, that spell already has its niche and does a thing that's unique to itself. And it's also a 4th level spell. Wait, hang on. How is Entangle word? Because Entangle grapples, I think. No, it doesn't. Hang on. Let me look at the spell list and see if there are any. Condition inflicted. Grappled. There we go. There are none. There are no spells that inflict the grappled condition, so this is uncharted territory. A creature grappled in this way is restrained. On a success, a creature suffers half damage and is not grappled. At the beginning of each of its turns, a creature grappled in this way must succeed on intelligence saving throw. On a failure, suffers God, this spell is very mean. The spell is, This is a scary spell right here. I'm alarmed that this may actually just be a better power word stun, but there are 2 saving throws against this effect, so... In an unoccupied space you can see within range. Each creature within 10 feet of one or more of the hands must make a strength saving throw. On a failure, a creature suffers 48 bludgeoning damage and becomes grappled. A creature grappled in this way is restrained. On a success, a creature suffers half damage and is not grappled. At the beginning of each of its turns, a creature grappled in this way must succeed on an intelligence saving throw. Yeah, I much prefer this version of the spell. I think it's kind of neat. This week I can overrun a little bit from 7, so I won't have to leave in like 5 minutes. I can stick around and finish all the H spells, but then I will probably have to go because I have some things to do tonight. The next one is Heisenberg's Unfathomable Intelligence. That's an interesting one. I know what the problems with this spell are. But conceptually, it's pretty awesome. The only issue is that it has a very, very high chance of just killing its user, which kind of fucking blows. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So let me go find it real quick. Heisenberg's unfathomable intelligence. Right. Casting time, 1 action, range, self, verbal somatic material, an adamantine lodestone inscribed with the symbols XLII worth at least 2,500 gold pieces. Duration 1 week. For sorcerers and wizards. You channel into yourself an intelligence so powerful that your very mind begins to shatter. Your intelligence score becomes 100 plus 35 for the duration. However, whilst in this state you are unconscious as your mind attempts and largely fails to fathom the level of intellect you have risen to. I like this here. This is actually really funny. This spell can even force unconsciousness onto creatures that are normally incapable of magical or even mundane unconsciousness, such as elves and warforged. When you enter this state, you take 12d10 psychic damage. This damage cannot be reduced in any way and ignores temporary hit points. If the spell reduces to 0 hit points, you die as your mind shatters from the strain you are placed under. That's fine. Like, that bit there is a dungeon that does a shitload of damage to you. Let me just very quickly look up, like, what the overall likelihood of this just killing you is. As output is 12d10, was it? Yes. And then as a wizard, let's say you have +1 constitution and you are a level 17 wizard. You have no other bonuses to your hit points. So it's 6 plus 16d6 plus 17. Mm-hmm. If you... let me screen capture, here we go. So if you roll incredibly poorly, this spell can just kill you. So, you know, if you roll bad on your hit points very consistently, but if you're rolling bad on your hit points, stop rolling, start taking the average. And this number here, I think ultimately, this damage may need to be unnecessary, but we'll see. Then again, you're a 17th level character. Dying is just kind of an inconvenience, so it might not actually matter, like, at all. If you live, you may ask the universe one question. The question must have a yes or no answer. Otherwise, or if the question pertains to something that might or might not happen in the future, your mind breaks from trying to conceive all possible realities at once, and you die. If your question does not result in instant brain overloading, I think we can just put otherwise there. You must succeed on a DC 50 intelligence check. Bearing in mind you have plus 35. You have plus 35. So basically, you need to roll... I suppose it could be an Arcana check, but... On a success, you learn the answer to this question. Once you have answered the question, you remain unconscious for the remaining duration and cannot be roused in any manner, after which the immeasurable knowledge you possessed before becomes unfathomable gibberish to you, except for the answer to your question. Additionally, each time you cast this spell, regardless of the outcome, the damage that the spell deals increases by. Okay, right. I think ultimately, this here is unnecessary. You being out cold for a week is more than enough to, like, stop people spamming this spell. But the idea is that you ask the DM a question about their setting, and they just give you a straight answer, right? Like, was this guy the god, like, Krulu this entire time? And then the universe goes, yup. I.e. the DM goes, yeah. Yeah, I think there's probably a clause here, actually, is if a creature attempts... Oh. If a creature attempts to enter your mind through telepathy or mind reading abilities, that creature dies. Its body overwhelmed with unfathomable knowledge. So yeah, you become so smart that you know things that no mortal should know. You become like smarter than a god for a week, but you're also like completely out cold. But you do get to learn the answer to one question. So you're pretty much immune to Mind Blast for the duration of you being unconscious, so Mind Flayers, beware. But otherwise, like, this here is mostly just for show. So players read this and go, and then they want to take it, right? And then they read it and they go, oh, okay, right, there is a practical application to this spell of me, and also, you know, it's not completely busted by making your intelligence plus 35. So that your DC is like something Stewards that's like 43, like 49. It's like, yes, I cast Fireball. The DC is 49. Make the saving throw, please. And then your players ask if they're playing 4th edition, and you laugh and say no. This is not 4th edition, you fool. Because I actually kind of like the way 4th edition scales. I don't remember it making any sense, like, at all. But I did kind of like how ridiculously high the numbers got in 4E, because it really felt like, you know, you were getting stronger. You weren't just like getting cool abilities and getting better spells. It was like, you know, this commoner, when I was level 1, had a 50-50 chance of succeeding their saving throw against my spell. Now they are physically incapable of resisting my magic spell, which is kind of cool. I really like, as jank as it is, 4th edition, it has a lot of cool shit. But it is certainly not a system for everyone. That's for sure. If you come to 4E for D&D, then you're not going to have a fun time. But if you come to 4E for... I don't really know what you would come to it for, but if you come to 4E for 4E, then you're going to love it. If you want a system with like an obscene amount of crunch, whilst also being reasonably simple, like making your character takes like 10 years, but is also really kind of simple. I remember 4E's weird, basically. Is verdict there. Oh shit, I dropped something on the floor and I was trying to pick it up and I almost fell off my chair. Not very cash money of me, I have to say. Next spell is Hermetic Smog, which is a 3rd level spell. Hermetic Smog. I remember Hermetic Smog and being a fan of it. You conjure up a cloud of hallucinatory mist that warps the mind of all those who enter it. The cloud fills a 20-foot radius sphere and spreads around corners. Any creature that enters the smog for the first time or starts its turn there must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, that should be a comma there. The target becomes frightened of the mist until the start of its next turn and treats all movement into... Ooh, that doesn't work, because if they're frightened in the mist, they can't move closer to the mist because they're inside the mist. The mist is all around them, so they can't move. That is an issue. That is a problem. It's fine, because I know how to fix it, but, on a failed save, the target... Any creature that enters the smog for the first time or starts its turn in the mist. On a failed save, the target... It's the start of its next turn. Additionally, for every 5 feet of movement a creature expends inside the mist, that creature takes... Okay, right. So yeah, you fill a 20-foot radius sphere, a creature fails their save, and they have to expend 40 feet of movement, thereby spending... I think taking like 64? Yes, 6d4 psychic damage. Oh, sorry about that. So you create the smog, and it fills the area that it's in. I also think that this is not necessarily like as a warlock spell. This is not a good warlock spell. This does not scale. No warlock is going to take this because it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get better. So I think something to do with that would be to go at higher levels. Oh wait, no. I need to actually put it in properly. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage die rolled as a part of this spell increases in value by 1. So 4, 6, 8. Spell's overall radius increases by 5 feet for each spell slot level expended above 3rd. I like this spell. This is very good. He is a warm lad. Artificer. I feel like this should be a wizard spell. This feels like a wizard spell. As much as I'm not I like that wizards get access to basically every spell in the game, but also it's it's not quite what I want, for wizards to just have every spell. But I think this spell especially is very much a cool wizard spell. because like being able to basically just like lock off an area and do guaranteed damage to your opponents is pretty good. Also, this is individual damage. This fucks over spellcasters massively. So it should be additionally, whenever a creature enters into a space inside the mist, it suffers 1d4 psychic damage for every 5 feet of movement it expended. No. I like Hermetic Smock though. I wasn't really a fan of it before, but I think this fixes it. How many more are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 left. The next one is Holy Lash, which is a 3rd level spell. It's literally the next one down. How convenient. I suppose I can put in... I've been, like, omitting Inquisitor from this list, but it's, like, straight up a class I made. I don't need to, like, just not mention that. Which, it's free on the guild, by the way. You can go download it if you want. You don't have to. I'm not gonna, like, be pissy if you don't. But it's a pretty neat class. Hang on. I'm gonna go grab a direct link to it. Well, I gotta find one first. Give me a second. Gotta go to my guild page. There's also a collaborative project I did that came out just today called The 10 Hazards of Love. It's got some Valentine's themed monsters in it. It's pretty neat. But here is the Inquisitor. It is a neat little package. This is pay what you want, so it's free. You know, if you like it, then do feel free to either buy the Hero's Handbook, which has the Inquisitor, couple extra subclasses for the Inquisitor, and a whole bunch of other stuff in it. So you can feel free to do that if you want, or you could just go download the Inquisitor for free, and give it a read, and you know you can use it in your home game. Because I like that model. I think that is having a free version of your stuff is just very consumer friendly, because as someone who does not have any disposable income at all, it's nice being able to look at something for free and decide whether it's worth paying money for, because you know that seems pretty reasonable. Either way, Holy Lash. I'm going to stop plugging my shit now. 3rd level evocation, 1 action, 30 feet. Verbal somatic, 1 minute. You unleash a whipping surge of radial energy and strike at a creature you can see within range. Make a melee spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 3d10 radiant damage, and the wound it receives begins to surge with pain. At the start of each of the target's turns, it's to surge with radiant power, because pain makes it sound evil, and I mean it kind of is, but you know, at the start of each of the creature's turns of the duration, it takes 1d6 radiant damage. At the end of each of the creature's turns, it can make a Constitution saving throw. On a successful save, the creature's wound ceases. The creature ceases pulsing on a save. The spell ends. I think this damage doesn't really beget, like it does like 3d10 damage on hit, which is really not a lot, like at all for a 3rd level spell. Let me just double check, like what the... Yeah, the recommended damage for a single target spell at 3rd level is 5d10. Honestly, we could do that and increase this overall damage to just like 2d6, which is a lot more reasonable. Let's get 4d10. I think that comes up to about 5d10, give or take. I think it comes up to slightly more, actually. I'm not sure. 5.5 times 4 plus 7, or 5 times 5.5. Comes up slightly lower, but that's assuming they succeed on their first save, which they may not. Obviously, it's a con save, so it's a pretty good chance that they will, but Yeah. Small fix to Holy Lash, just buffing it, make it better. Because it's weak. It's not bad, it wasn't bad, it was just not very strong. Horror Blade. I vaguely remember this one being strange, and I think it's also a third, amusingly enough. It is not. Maybe it's a fourth. It's probably a fourth. It is. A lot of the spells in this book are third or fourth level. Fourth level especially, because it's the most underrated, the most underappreciated level, aside from, well, sixth and seventh also don't get much love, but fourth, I think, is the most accessible of all of the levels that just doesn't really have much. It's got Dimension Door, which is pretty great, and it has Sickening Radiance as well, which is also pretty good, but right, let's see if this spell is up to my modern design par, or whatever. Fourth level illusion, action touch of ESM, drop of blood, concentration for a minute, sorcerer's warlock's wizard. You can instill a weapon with a terrible evil energy, making it appear as a weapon born of nightmares and death. Oh shit. Each creature perceives the blade differently, but all perceives the weapon. But all see it as unnerving and distracting. The weapon gains a +1 bonus to hit and deals an additional 2d4 psychic damage on a hit. This damage, okay, right. Right, okay. This is a wizard, warlock, and sorcerer's holy weapon, right? This is what this is. This bonus to hit I think is kind of shit, but I'm going to use holy weapon as like a pointer. This is effectively what the spell is supposed to be. So I might just use it as like a design template. No, I won't change the duration. That's not really necessary. See, this clause here is great, but the spell has no way of frightening the creature in question. Deals an additional 2d4 psychic damage on a hit. Yeah, and Holy Weapon does 2d8 damage, so this is a fair downgrade. Holy Weapon does not scale. This does. But I think that's okay, because this spell is like, oh yeah, you're fighting a devil? But the devil's just immune to the spell. Are you fighting, I don't know, anything immune to the frightened condition? There's a lot of that. Anything with true sight, also a lot of that. Actually, no, I think the true sight thing, because it is being instilled with evil energy. I think actually we can cut all of this, because this is still Holy Weapon has a secondary effect and does not scale. Whereas this does scale, and it probably shouldn't. A creature that scores a critical hit with the weapon causes a flare of horrifying power. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of the weapon for 1 minute. A creature frightened in this way can remake its saving throw at the end of each of its subsequent turns, ending the effect on a success. And we can remove the scaling, because raw damage is bad. Just adding raw damage to weapons, very risky. Breaks the game. Holy Weapon is an amazing spell. Don't even get me fucking started on Spirit Shroud. That spell is insane. That's like straight up like tier 1 must pick spell in base. It is ridiculous how good Spirit Shroud, and unless you're a long ranged character, Spirit Shroud is obscene in just how good it is. It has no right being as good as it is. It's utterly ridiculous. Hound of Vengeance. Now I know this one is kind of strange. Also a 4th level spell immediately after in my list. It's a ranger spell. Who knew? The rangers even got spells. Or the rangers get good spells, I think is more the... because they kind of don't. Zephyr Strike is pretty okay. That's kind of it. You summon a nature spirit from beyond the veil, commanding it to attack a creature within range. A spiritual wolf charges forward, attempting to maul the target. Like a ranged spell attack? No, it should be a melee spell attack. Like a melee spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 3d4 necrotic damage and 2d4 force damage. On a hit or a miss, you can then target a second creature within 10 feet of the first. Make a ranged attack roll against that creature as the hound moves to strike it too. On a hit, the target takes the same damage. Right. If you do, the wolf moves to their space and repeats the attack. Oh. Realistically, you could just make a... No, actually, I kind of like this. You may then repeat for a third target, which must be different from the first or second. The wolf then returns to you, restoring hit points to you equal to half the damage it dealt. So half the damage it dealt. Right. Okay. 5d4 damage against 3 individual targets. So 5d4 plus 5d4 plus 5d4. Oh no, what the fuck am I doing? I just do 15 d4. Is it half the damage? Yeah, half damage divided by 2. Output 10d4 divided by 2. I'm working out how much healing you can actually get out of this because it looks like a lot. If you hit all 3 attacks, you're getting on average between like 16 and 21 hit points, which is actually a lot more reasonable than I expected. The necrotic and force damage dealt to each creature by the hound. Okay, no, maybe not both of them. The necrotic damage dealt to each creature by the hound increases by 1d4. Okay. There are 2 more. The next one is Hunter's Prowl. It's a 3rd level spell. So many 3rd level spells. I remember changing the spell a whole bunch, because its original version was just jank as hell. But I think it's pretty clean now, but I'm gonna go in and just double check. You employ a magical camouflage, rendering yourself invisible until the start of your next turn. Whilst invisible in this way, your movement speed is doubled and your weapon attacks deal an additional 1d6 damage. It's a bonus action, self, and lasts a round. Honestly, this is actually really clean. I like this a lot. And Joe, if you're in here, you may want to consider this one for Monica, because spell's actually probably really good for her. You just double your speed, bonus action, double your speed, and buff your damage for like a round. And you stay invisible for the whole time. For the whole duration, even. It's probably really good. Ugh. Ooh. So crack in my neck. Yeah, I don't even need to change this. This is actually clean as hell. I've changed basically every spell thus far in some capacity, but Hunter's Prowl, admittedly, I've changed it at least twice in the past, so it kind of doesn't really count, but it was cool. The final spell we're going to touch on today, because it is late, far later than I would normally end, is Hyperborean Star, which has the coolest name of, I think, any spell I've ever made. It's a 9th level evocation spell with a range of self, verbal somatic material, the heart of a frost giant. Duration instantaneous for druids, sorcerers, and wizards. You conjure forth the freezing cold from the darkest, most frozen of plains, releasing it in a 60-foot radius swirling whirlwind of icy death. Each creature caught in the area must succeed on a Constitution saving throw. No, must make. Alright. On a failed save, a creature suffers 12d8 cold damage and is restrained by the swirling ice that has formed around it. Any liquids caught in the area is like instantly frozen. A creature reduced to 0 hit points with the spell is killed instantly. And frozen as an icy statue. Does not melt naturally. It can only be reduced to its liquid state by fire damage originating from a spell of 6th level or higher. So 60-foot radius death sphere. This is somebody like letting out like a primal roar and shouting really loudly, and it's kind of that like force that comes out of them. And in this, it's ice, so it creates like the jagged, pointy bits of ice that point away from them in all directions. And there's just people just kind of like frozen in it. You know, there's icicles pushing backwards out of them. It's that. It's one of those. One of those like everyone's seen something like it once. That is what this is, and I do love this spell. Damage-wise, I'm not actually sure if it's... yes, it is, actually. 12d8, I think, is a little over 14d6, which is the recommended. Hang on. Yeah, it is over, but it is also a con save, so, like, you know, the Tarask is going to succeed immediately against this saving throw. Hell, a lot of creatures will legendary resistance this spell. Is the shebang, I suppose. I think this spell's probably fine. It is a risk, of course, because it's a 60-foot radius, so you got to be careful not to catch your buddies in it, which is challenging, as, you know, if you're a druid, it's very doable. Very doable. Especially if you're a moon druid. Turn into an eagle, fly into the sky, Hyperwarrior Star on top of your enemies, and all your allies are fine. Speaking from having seen a player do exactly that, it's very effective. But yeah, Hyperwarrior Star, cool spell. It's one of my favorites, even though it's like, it is a damage spell. Like, you know, it does some cool stuff, but at the end of the day, it's a damaging spell. But it has such a cool name. It's called Hyperborean Star. I mean, come on. But either way, I am probably going to stop there for today. I am going to make an effort to stream again some more this week. I am still quite busy, though. So it really depends on how things go and what happens, I guess. I should... At the very, very least, I am going to make a concerted effort to be sure I stream again next Sunday, because I want to play some more Platinum. I was really disappointed I didn't really get a chance to play it yesterday, but I was just not, like, I did not have the energy for it at all. So I want to continue on with that next week, and I will make a concerted effort to stream on Friday as well. But without question, absolute worst case scenario, my week is horrendous. I will at the very least be streaming a week from today for standard Monday stream. So yeah, I'm going to see if there's anyone to raid, but there usually isn't on a Monday. But then again, I'm finishing a lot later than I would normally, so let us take a look. No, there is no one to raid, but that's fine. I am going to call things here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves, because I'm going to head out now. Hopefully speak to folks again on Friday or maybe Sunday. But yeah. See ya.